fam, welcome back to our channel. I'm Debbie.
I'm Darren.
And this is Tyrion.
Hello, this was my little Timothy.
He's been sat there, gorgeous. Oh, you're going back to it now, mate. He's scoffing down on the special rock cakes that my mum makes for them. Basically, less if any naughty bits in, if you know what I mean. But no, they love it. And he's getting crumbs all over the show. But he was honestly, he was sat there for a good 5 minutes, really sedately eating. He looked like one of those ladies at the Grand. And now he's scoffing it all down and shoving it in as fast as he can. Right, now then, we've been a bit all over the place with filming because Bonnie's not feeling too clever at the moment, so she doesn't, like a child, she doesn't know really what to do with herself. She comes out onto me and Darren, and so the filming we've been doing today, I haven't bothered with my makeup. I've barely had time to sort out my hair because, as always with us, the hamsters come first. She's finally gone off to sleep a little while. Hopefully that'll make your sissy feel better, won't it?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, he's just done that. He shoved it all in and he's like, yeah, I want to go home now. Check on my sister. So he lives in the cage above her. So we get Daddy to put her back. Put him back. Sorry, darling. What? Word of the week.
Word of the week. Whoop, 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 whoop,
you should make a little flashy thing like they did on Mallet's. No, some 73 Sassy TV kids shows, you know. Funhouse.
Funhouse.
I love Funhouse.
Lot of fun.
Right.
Prizes to be won.
So we had the nose thing that.
Oh, that's right. The
Colmonella,
yeah.
Which was the bit that adjusted.
Bit
is part of the septum. Not
it's
septum.
The bit in front of the septum. Yeah.
Oh, it is septum.
It's the flesh bit in between.
Yes. Right. So this week's one is contrail, which is the thin line of cloud that forms behind an aircraft at high altitudes.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that had a name.
Yeah.
Now you say it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So when those skies are beautiful blue outside, you can impress said people and say, "Oh look, a contrail."
Trail.
You
only just read it as well.
Right, as well, yeah.
Say.
I do not know this because I do not see people.
No.
Although my mum did come up this week. Hence why the hamsters have got the most amazing hamster rock cakes. Which leads me into one lady was asking for about what do I do to adapt recipes for diabetes. There is actually there's proper, where sweetener sugar doesn't weigh the same as normal sugar, it's easiest to do what I did, which was get my mother-in-law a cookbook that is specifically for that, or just do what I do myself, which is I just adjust things and do it by taste, and eventually you get there.
When I worked it out for Mum, it was 1/8, wasn't it?
An 1/8 of the weight.
An 1/8 of the weight.
Which, to be honest,
Canary is an 1/8 of the weight.
It's worth buying the book. I think it cost me about £4 on Amazon. It wasn't hugely expensive.
Yeah.
But because she's decided that she's not going to eat chocolate and sweets at the moment, it means I had to think outside the box on Mother's Day. So I bought her a plunger. It was red.
That's right.
I've got no clue what we're going to do about Easter. Never mind. Anyway. Right. So, Sherlock.
Before around Easter, we've got the bell on the wall behind, which says...
Oh yeah, I actually remembered to do it.
Pink Moon.
You have no idea how difficult it is to find an
16th
eye in a bag full of...
16th to the 17th of April it is.
Which is 2 days before my birthday. Because my birthday's actually on Easter Monday.
Yep.
And
that's
we are going
enormous.
to do a vlog that day because I said I'd unwrap my presents because a lot of things that I've asked for have been related to different things that I'm into.
It was like the pink moon's in the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere is the hunter's moon.
Right, my good sir. We'll go on to Sherlock and then we can tell all these good people all the exciting things we've been doing.
Right. We got the one from last week.
Ah, yes. I actually got this quite quickly because it helps that, I mean, to be perfectly honest, because the lady downstairs had a fire the other week, as you know yourself, because we said, well, the other month, first, all we cared about was making sure that we had a way of getting the hamsters out safely. So to that, I would say it was either a baby or a fur baby or some small child type thing.
Yeah, Lolly Wayne guessing of the baby, like child's most precious treasures.
But it wasn't. We both of us actually missed out on the main part then, because the question is,
I didn't. I actually got it what it was.
You got what it was. You think what it is anyway.
I think they were firemen.
Yeah, a group of men running into your house, grabbing your
most precious possession, coming out, holding them from going back in there, handing it to them and going on their way. But we shall.
So, as Darren's probably quite right, he usually gets them, doesn't he? I mean, it depends on how your brain works. And mine doesn't very often. Did Angela or any of the other lovely regulars?
Leanne had no guests this week. Because Leanne, when we're recording this, because it's Thursday today, but when we'll be showing it, Friday, she's moving.
Oh, honey, I hope it goes well. Honestly, if your day has been anything as up in the air as ours has been.
Yeah, but ours is Thursday. Hers is tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, but it'll be going out.
Ooh. Right, the gang. I assume Holmes says that you took no action because no law's been broken. Well, began Lestrade, tell me, were the firemen rescuing a pet or a child? I suspect the latter, since they handed the unfortunate to the wife. Lestrade gave up, an infant. Right.
Yes, you were right, and me and Lolly were right.
Partially right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, look, and did Angela say anything about it?
I know we've had some good questions this week.
No, she was talking about other bits.
Right, so... What's the Sherlock one for today?
Sherlock one today is the Hampstead twins.
The Hampstead twins?
Hampstead. At Hampstead Heath.
That's more disappointing.
We returned to 221B Baker Street late one evening, after having spent the day chasing around Blackheath. Mrs. Hudson was kind enough to bring us a very welcome pot of tea and a plate of biscuits. Before leaving, she looked across at Holmes and myself. I ever told you fine gents about my niece, Katie? I shook my head, but Holmes recalled that she was a maid for a couple somewhere up in Hampstead. Excuse me. That's her, said Miss Hudson. She was telling me last week that the youngsters of the family had just been celebrating their birthdays. Twins they are, a boy and a girl, born within 15 minutes of each other, but the young one's birthday came 2 clear days before the elders. Can you make sense of it? No, not offhand.
Only one bit, but I don't really see how it can be that. So I don't know. Think about that. Right, so I'm going to give you some last week updates. Last week we didn't actually get to video much. There were lots of health issues that I won't bore you with.
Yeah.
and pain issues. Right, so we only actually managed to do the socks.
Yeah, a Cobalt spooky socks.
Spooky socks.
And
the £5
a cold box.
First of the £5 Friday boxes.
Yeah.
We only got the first one, but it was absolutely incredible. So yeah,
she has
really
put some.
pleased.
She has put some on her cold box on there. Back on there, so you can grab hold of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
worth.
don't know how many she's got on there.
It's worth looking. She's got some lovely stuff on her shop. She really has.
Yeah.
Right. This week, that basically means that we know what ones we've got coming this week, or what ones we're doing this week, because we've recorded them today.
Just now.
Because we've had to do everything between when Bonnie's been asleep. So next week you are looking at this is in no particular order, I might add, but Loot Crate. I finally got the November Loot Crate,
Wizarding
World one from America. It's worth a look. They're all worth a look. They really are. We got the wonderful Jess Pagan's Pumpkin Hollow.
Yeah.
3 monthly.
Quarterly
box. That's what I wanted to say. Yes. And it's
tri-monthly.
It's actually a fortune teller called Artemis, and
she is
lovely.
a fortune teller called Artemis.
The thing I like about, I mean, I'm a little gutted because her printer's broken down, so I haven't got a newspaper article to tell you about yet, but I will as soon as I get it through. Because bless her, I mean, it's the last thing you want, isn't it? But it's always the way. It's typical, really. Not typical of her, typical of situations is what I mean.
Yeah, well, we've just started selling some stuff on eBay again. And I went to print out the addresses, and our printer's not working either. It put lines across everything, so there you go.
Which is an absolute nuisance and a half, because we use that, because it's a printer scanner thing, and we use that for my diamond painting bits.
Yeah.
Right, so that, and of course, the winning box, because we won a box, we won items from a car.
All right.
Go on, you explain it, please.
In February, there was a giveaway on Instagram in conjunction with Occult Box and Rune and Raven.
Oh my goodness! Please check out their site.
And we entered it. It was drawn the middle of March, and we won it. And it was delayed sending it out because she wasn't too well.
Which
we got it.
Sympathise with.
We got it, and yay, we've unboxed it. Bloody brilliant, as Ron would say.
As Ron would say, yeah, it really. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah,
it is exceptional. I'm not going to give it away because
to find out, you're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it, and believe me, it is worth watching. And I'll try and get Darren to remember to write the links below for the two places, Occult Box and Rune and Raven. Rune and Raven, unfortunately, there are quite a lot of Rune and Ravens.
Yes.
And the printing on their card is, Darren had to look at it through the phone screen.
It's stylised.
It's stylised. It's beautiful, but unfortunately, the writing is teeny tiny. And we learnt ourselves from our first lot of business cards that we did. We write it in script. It's
and you couldn't read the bloody things.
So yeah, I mean, Darren told me, and as long as you follow the link or the bit that Darren writes down, it will take you directly to their shop. I think the most expensive item on the Rune and Raven one was $49.99, and their stuff is incredible. It really is beautiful. There's sterling silver things on there. There's things that have been done directly onto wood. There's lace bits. There's lots of very nice things, absolutely gorgeous things. And in fairness, for what you get, I think it's it's a pretty good price. It's probably what I'd class as mid-range expensive.
Yeah.
To me. Now you've got to bear in mind that a lot of my jewellery is incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
That's because I like it. I mean, I like it. I'm
Yeah.
quite happy. But I was truly blown away with both the things from them and a cult box.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
Now then, I have got some more bits to say to you about, so I'm going to... So that's what's coming up next week that we know about, and of course our corner bit.
Also next week, we're getting the dragon egg. Will be going up.
Yes, we're hoping that's one of the bits on my list actually. We're hoping it's going to be out for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now this is dependent on a lot of things. By rights, it should have been done by now, but my pain levels have been.
Hopefully, it wants to be done. Well, it wants to be up on Tuesday, and I'm going to put it on both channels.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people want to see it.
A lot of people are generating interest on that, so it's one of the rare ones that are going to be on both. Yeah. Now then, the plant that we started last week, you might remember.
The plant in a tin.
The little tin plant.
Yep.
We would show him to you, but there's not an awful lot of point.
Yeah, nothing's changed at the moment, so they did rent about 10 or so days, so it's like...
So we're not really surprised, basically. Right. Oh yeah, I was going to say to you as well, Witchbox, I've been nosing around their site. Oh, this could get difficult because, honestly, wow. They have got alchemy jewellery, which is one of my favourites. And they also have alchemy figures and...
We did use to sell alchemy jewellery, but they put the prices up.
They did.
Didn't they? They put... You didn't actually put it up, so you didn't actually make a lot of money on them.
Their prices are good.
Yeah, no, alchemy put the price up for them.
Yeah.
Because the trouble is, alchemy started selling the stuff themselves, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah, they've got ornaments and so on. Actually, did I leave that up? I can't remember whether I left that up or not. I think I did. So
did
I'll show you.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Right, okay. Witchbox have got their exclusive items that are only available from them. You've got witches jewellery, subscription boxes, and also if you do subscribe and like ourselves get a monthly box from them, you get to be in their VIP access only, which I need to get the code off of Darren, so I can't tell you what sort of things in there because I still haven't sorted out the code.
It's a conversation between people. People talk about it's a community bit, so it's
the spellcrafts and spell kits, signs and magnets, past Twitch boxes, which is really good news because if you haven't started with them, it actually gives you a fighting chance to treat yourself to a few. Ornaments and picture frames, mirrors and trinkets, incense holders, home and garden, which is one of my loves. That's one of the places I just love to look at. You've got your herb blends and essential oils and oil burners, divination, gems, candles and holders, book of shadow pages, and bags and accessories. There's only actually one bag under bags and accessories, but I've clicked on the wrong thing, people. I don't know what no, there's not one bag. I must have clicked on the wrong one when I was looking earlier. I'm losing the plot. What did I think there was only one? Oh, because there was only one that size. That's why. Silly woman, Debbie. Right. That'll give you an indication of some of the ones they do. And the prices. And as I've said, now I've got a few places I want to get from, just purely so I can show you the hauls that I buy. It's not for my own benefit, really. you know, I mean, I love Anne Stokes stuff. I love the stuff from some of the wholesalers that I recognise using myself. And, you know, it is what it is. You get different bits, but they're really, really friendly as well. So if you're not sure, because I think we had a question from a lady that, or a young woman that had just become a witch, and we're going to go through and give her a more what's it answer to her question. But what I will say is that to me, the aspects of it's very much related to nature and Mother Nature. Meditating on candlelight or crystals and things like that can be incredibly calming to your general well-being. If you think it's all a load of hooky, then to be honest, it's not the sort of thing you're going to like anyway. So, you know, I can say this because I have family members that would say that.
Your dad would. Mind you, got out of that jail pretty quick, didn't they?
No, he used to say it. After that jail, he doesn't dismiss.
Budbin jail we went to.
I love my mum though.
Is it haunted? Bloody hell is it?
See,
I wouldn't go in there. Debbie wouldn't go in there.
My mum and my mother-in-law do not question the fact that I have got a altar, and it's, you know, I mean, I know some people can be funny about it, but it's not an evil thing at all. I must admit, I have found this on. This is something I've got in my basket waiting.
Oh, it's Green Man.
He's gorgeous, isn't he? It's one of Witchbox ones. Oh my goodness, I just love him. I love mushrooms. I love autumnal and wintry, and it's very much autumnal with the acorns and the mushrooms, and it's just beautiful. But yeah, lots of cat ones, witchy ones, crows, well not crows, raven nose actually, but there you go. So basically, it's one of those ones I would say, have a look, see what you think. I'm not plugging it per se, but I tend to, and you know yourself, if I do something, I'll note it down in my little book to tell you about it, because, you know.
She's been scribbling and writing.
The thing is, the truth of the matter is as well, I've been checking out a lot of these shops, because this is my birthday's coming up. Why wouldn't you? You know,
right.
basically. Right. We confirmed that. We've done that. Done that. Right, so I'm going to show you how I'm getting on with my doobrey.
Diamond painted.
That's the one. Right, excuse me, I'm trying to show you as much as I possibly can. But yeah, so I've done quite a bit actually from last week, I think. And I've started on this bit here, so I'm going to do them in these chunk size lines at the moment.
Yeah.
Until it suits otherwise. But yeah, I think that's going to be quite wicked when it's finished actually. In case you're wondering what I've got it on, this was a whiteboard from the works. I did have 3 little Smarties, which are little magnetic ones, that are really handy. What's it? But it just means that it's something that fits really nicely on this desk. If there's anybody's interested in this at all, I can tell you where I got it from. It's eBay, and it's a bit like a hospital desk, because after coming out of hospital I realised how handy that would be to have. Yeah. Like
they both angle now. It's got a split. I mean,
yeah, so you can have your cup of coffee or tea or any cold beverage, hot beverage, whatever. No judgment. And your laptop, of course, this way. I have it this way because basically the sofa I sit on doesn't have a bit underneath, which is a shame.
It's not enough space.
Because you could actually move it forward and then turn it, and bits angle and bits don't, and you can have it all different ways. It's absolutely blooming brilliant. It's probably one of the best things I've got.
But if you could angle them bits like that, where would you put all your stuff? Because Debbie had a hell of a lot of trouble when we put hamster cages on the coffee table. And it was like, because Debbie had to clear all her stuff off the coffee table.
This is true, but I'd still rather give up the space and have the hamster cages there.
Yeah.
Right, TV series we're watching this week, and then we'll go on to your questions. Is Warehouse 13. We finished watching all the Librarians.
Yep.
I was talking to my mum about it actually, and she didn't realise it was a TV series. Now, considering she was the one that told me how good the films were and got me into it, I was quite surprised I hadn't mentioned to her about the TV series. So Mum's really happy.
Yeah.
Warehouse 13. It's quite steampunky in things. They've, it's really cool.
It's similar in the other to the last one in a way. Basically,
in some ways, it's artifacts kept in this ever-growing warehouse.
Artifacts have been created and it's like that are out in the world. They
cause problems.
Yeah, they pick them up, snag, bag and tag it, put it in the warehouse where
it's also got nice humour.
Sort of safe.
This is it. I really love the actors in it. There's also a crossover with Eureka, which is what we're planning on going into next.
Town called Eureka.
I'm not going to tell you about that until we actually do, because I don't want to confuse everybody.
There are 5 seasons of Warehouse 13.
Yeah.
There was of most things, because it was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
The Sci-Fi Channel very rarely does past 5. I think they did 6 with Haven, but Haven, the 5th season, was in 2 halves.
Yeah. I've also finished watching Bridgerton this week. Oh my goodness. Girls, seriously? That Duke. The gutting thing is, he's not in the second series. He's not dead or anything, but he's just not in the second series. And he's one of those people that I find fascinating to watch. And he was lovely to look at. But as long as he kept his shirt on, because quite often with these buff guys, they do tend to take their shirts off, and it gives me the collie wobbles when they've got those He-Man line things. It's like soggy bread. Soggy bread makes me shudder as well. But I don't know why. But there you go. Everybody's got their own little foibles, haven't they? Anyway, right, so come on, question time, me.
Question time, yeah?
Mind you, I'm going to have to get you to get me a drink, I think, because I am out completely and I talk.
Yep. Alright.
Right, guys, so if you've noticed, or probably noticed, we have been joined by Bonnie, bless her heart at the moment. She's feeling a bit rough. We don't know, basically. If anybody's going to ask, we don't know. I've seen them rally themselves. It might just be a bit of a funny thing going. But she's cold in herself, so I think she's just running out, basically.
But not seriously.
But yeah. Alright, darling, I know. Darren dug this out for me as well before I forget.
Yeah.
It's the Transformers one, the Metal
Earth ones, yeah.
So that'll be one I'll be doing, hopefully, on my craft channel. I say hopefully, because it depends on whether I can get on with it or not, because there's not a lot of... I'll tell you about it either way.
It'll be on there, whether or not it completes or not. Yeah.
Right, so anyway...
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. From Lollyween. Are there any celebrity stroke actors and so on that you would like to meet?
Actually, it's quite an easy one in some respects. I would like to have met my Miss Marple, which was Jane Hicks. I would love to be able to meet Dame Maggie, bless her.
Oh.
Smith, obviously.
Yeah.
I love her as an actress. I think she's fantastic. I think I'd quite like to meet Dean Winchester as well. That isn't his actual name, obviously. That's
Jensen
Jensen
Ackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Morgan from Criminal Minds, Shaymar Moore. There's lots of people. I'd quite like to meet Morgan Freeman as well, but yeah, the Queen would be nice.
I don't know a lot of people. There are different people I'd like to meet, from like ones that I like, which is like it's like music one I grew up with, like Alice Cooper. I'd meet him, and let's say different actor ones, like I don't know, not Nicolas Cage. I think.
Oh, I love him.
Because he's just
Gone in 60
strange.
Seconds is one of my favourites. David Tennant, actually, as well.
But the biggest problem I have with you say like meeting people like that, with these ones that you like, and it's like if you find out that they're total arseholes. If you know what I mean.
This is the only
that's the biggest problem.
Me.
Yeah, I mean, these people you think are great and it's like that, and they turn out to be really nasty. And it's.
I'd love to meet most of the people from Game of Thrones and everybody from Harry Potter films, apart from Dolores Umbridge, because as much as I love her as an actress,
she was on a crown, wasn't she? She played the Queen.
She did, and she played her very well, actually. But unfortunately, I find Dolores Umbridge terrifying, and now little old ladies in cardigans, same sort of build. I don't do particularly well with it. It just used to be men in suits, but now it's pretty much Dolores Umbridge lookalikes.
Yeah. Weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse. You can decide if they're fast or slow.
Because of my mobility, I would say a crossbow. If I didn't have problems with mobility, I of course would like Excalibur.
Yeah, so I'd take a sword.
Mine admittedly are quite medieval.
Yeah, as I say, like a sword, I'll go for. Although the best one I saw before was put all the way around the outside of the house. You put treadmills. So they're going and just keep running at the front of the house.
I like that. It's brilliant. That. How to fool a zombie.
Yeah, that's right.
Any other questions?
Where would you like to time travel? Back in the past or to the future?
Past. To be able to hug my nan and granddad again would be. And Beena. Beena's Tobina, my cat. My hamsters. But no, essentially, there's quite a few people I'd like to hug. But if I could only hug one, it would be my grandmother. So that's why I'd always pick past over future. Future is what I'm going to get to.
I'd pick past. Not for anything particular, just to experience different bits.
Yeah.
Of the past.
Well, but to be able to go
the future, I would dread to go into the future because I dread to know what it's like.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know. I believe there's some sort of psychic ledger with your name on it, and when your time's up, and it doesn't matter what you do. But you don't know how things are going to pan out. And I have no trouble thinking that I could convince my grandmother rather easily who I am. So
If
I
you
suppose
think-
that's the benefit of that. Plus, I'd love to go around the places that were around when I was a kid.
If you think about like when it was like from like, 100 years ago, what's up? Well, go
Doesn't
back.
sound
We'll go
like a
back.
lot.
We'll go back. We'll go back 70 years. We'll go back. We'll go back to the 1950s. What's
Just getting
changed since the
over war.
1950s? In 70 years.
Everything.
Yeah. So what has changed? Absolutely everything. I mean, you think like another 70 years in the future, what's going to have changed by that?
See, I don't. I think that during the wars, I think people say you're always going to get some that aren't, but it amazes me how the past, how people were, normal people, everyday people, dealt with things in the past. So I'm a sucker for like that, living in the 40s, 50s, and there was a Victorian one. I love those because it does go back on, it harks on how things were. And the thought of going back and seeing certain things. See, I'd quite like to go to around my childhood sort of era. Because as much as I love medieval times and things like that, I think it would be a bit like meeting an actor that turns out to be not a very pleasant person.
It's not just that.
It's going to disillusion you. The smell alone
you wouldn't be understood.
No.
Because you don't speak the same language. Because Old English is very little like English is now. I say you wouldn't know what the people were talking about. No. They wouldn't understand you.
I think it says something, about our babies when they're feeling rough. And I mean, we've had ones with different bits. If they have a little scrape or something like that, they always come and tell us. I mean, Bonnie, bless her, she's got a cold of some sort. And we'll try her on some baby food to perk her up and bits. A lot of it is giving them enough energy back. But we'll see how she goes.
Yeah.
But no, that's why basically the videos we've done today have been a bit disjointed and it's later than we'd normally do. But, it doesn't matter even if they've got a little bit of a cold, although some of them do put on sneezes for attention. But they...
He's gone back.
Yeah, he's gone back.
Tyrion does that.
He sneezes for attention. We used to have one that had put on a fake limp.
Yep.
I had a drunk canary. Either she was falling off the perch and laying on the floor until Dad gave her some brandy. And then she kept falling off the perch because she was drunk. So she had a bit of a problem, really. We had a budgie that was an alcoholic. I'm not taking the mick out of anybody for that either. I'm saying that our budgie was. We've had, crikey, Victory. When he cries like a newborn, and it's a real squeal. And of course, I do my version of running, and Darren does his version of running, which is neither, is really. And you sort of throw yourself at the cage to get to him, and he's sat in bed waiting to be picked up. But no, she's not a very well girl. Are you, darling? I think your batteries are running a bit low. But we wanted to do the vlog and everything today because it's really nice being able to talk to you guys, and there's no reason. I mean, it could go either way. It's 50-50 with her. And we don't want to stop her from coming out so we can finish a video. And if she was worse than this, she's just snoozing on me at the moment. But if she was worse than this, I wouldn't dream of, you know. But yeah, she's just such a good girl, aren't you? But no, I mean, you get them and they're all particularly strange. But quite often Eva will be around quite a lot. Because we see her in the cage once Mishka's out.
Yeah.
And Mishka's started on certain things that we know Eva used to do and things like that. So.
Yeah. If you didn't know, Eva was the hamster we had.
She was our first Russian hamster
that we had before Mishka and Victor.
And so she tried dying once and I brought her back. So I resuscitated her.
But we also get
and
you also see Dumpling go through the tubes as well. Well, his old cage.
Been gone for a while now.
Yeah. You know, because there'd be no one in there. There won't be any hamster in there. They'll be around, and you'll see the movement go through the tubes.
I mean, the other day, to be honest, I was so convinced that I could see Mishka, because Mishka and there is a difference. But when they're flashing around the cage, I was
there is a difference, yeah.
And then
Mishka's dark.
I know, but
Eva was only dark to start with, then she went white.
Yeah, she was moving. She went white when I went to hospital because she didn't like that I'm not here. They get very attached. But she, no, it was a weird one actually because I was convinced that I've been talking to Mishka because she'd come up a few times like, do you want to go out? And the next thing I know, Mishka comes up in her ball and I'm thinking, talking to Eva then, was I?
Yeah.
So they never really leave us.
That's right.
Thing is, they've started bringing friends now, haven't they, as well?
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, everyone.
Yes. So, we will, I was going to say, I'm afraid I can't read you the superstitions one because I'm not moving because she's sleeping on me.
No.
So,
and we've been a little while anyway.
And we've been a little while anyway. So you've had some wonderful questions. I've got some different bits on Etsy I'm looking into for potential ones to try out and things like that, different things. But we're just going to see where we go with that, really. So, my lovelies, we will leave it there.
Yep.
And be safe, be different.
Bye. Bye.